Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking, go to renaissancebank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
That's home. That's just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, you know, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I could go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Today tastes like game day at home, like assigned couch seating. Tastes like coffee table dining and an ice-cold Coke to cool down the heat. It tastes like the game you've waited for all week with friends you've known your whole life. Today tastes like watching football is supposed to, and it never tasted this good. Coca-Cola. Together tastes better.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the ICC Hour right here on Super Talk Mississippi, 101.9 FM. I'm Adam Gore, and as always, I greatly appreciate you guys taking time out of your Tuesday afternoon to join us here, or maybe some of you that are going back and listening or watching the show on YouTube. You can do that. They're available. Just simply search the ICC Hour there on YouTube. And as we talk about the ICC Hour, it's being presented to you by our friends over at Renaissance Bank.
Ooh, fumble. Let's give her a Renaissance replay. Make the right call with Renaissance and get cell phone protection with Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking. Sign up today.
On this week's show, we're going to start to preview our fall sports here at ICC. Soccer, football. We've also got volleyball going on right now. Golf will be firing up later on this fall, so a lot of sports getting ready to go. We'll talk with head coach Mike Sullivan and Coach Lashley, the men's soccer coaches here, about the upcoming season. They actually got started on Saturday with a win out at Southwest. They're traveling Friday down to take on the defending state champions in Jones. So we'll learn more about the men's soccer team here at ICC. And we'll also revisit our interview last week with Dr. Allen. There's a lot of people that wanted to go back and hear that interview and hear of all the great things going on at ICC. So we're going to do that on this week's show as well. So we got a lot of stuff to get to, so let's jump to it right here on the ICC Hour.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow is what we anticipate, what we work for, what we want to improve. At Itawamba Community College, we offer the courses, pathways, and the training that can help turn your vision of tomorrow into a reality. So why wait? Your tomorrow can start today at Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking, go to renaissancebank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
My name is Kent Lewis. I run the welding program here at ICC. If you're out there looking for a good career, don't know what you want to do, we can take you in 1 year and we can turn you into a welder. We start off learning how to stick weld and we end up with TIG welding. When you leave here, you will have the skills necessary to be hired by a local manufacturing company or a construction company. Most start out at anywhere from $15 to $18 an hour and top out around $28 in this area. The industry is looking for people who don't mind getting out and getting dirty, hard workers, self-motivated. You've got to push yourself every day to be the best that you can be. It's a very physical job. It's hot during the summer, cold during the winter, but you get well compensated for that. The way I like to structure my class, I really like a lot of hands-on, getting dirty. In the morning times when you come in my class, we'll go to our welding booths and we'll practice our skills. After dinner, we focus a lot on projects. Just take, for instance, this box blade right here. It came in and it was tore all to pieces, and you can see now we've completely rebuilt it. It's ready to go back out and make a living again. As I told you in my introduction, I've been welding for 32 years. It's something that I get up every morning. I can't wait to get to work to strike an arc. It has provided very well for me and my family. I've raised 3 kids and paid a house off by getting out there every day. It's something that I enjoy doing. It's a skill that not everyone can do. And if you can master it, you can be very well paid.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renaissance Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM. We're going to start focusing on athletics as we got our sports seasons here in the fall starting to roll around and get fired up here. And first, we're going to talk to men's soccer, Coach Mike Sullivan and Coach Lashley, new assistant coach here. And guys, first off, thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, Sully, let's talk about it, man. Last year, a very unique season. Played roughly about 2/3 of the season in the different part of the year for you guys towards the end of the year. What did you learn from last year dealing with COVID heading into this year?
That's a big answer. Yeah, last year was very interesting. I mean, basically we went for about 10 months because we moved in and, regular with the students, which is not normal. But then we got started, with training right away and basically trained the entire fall semester, played 3 scrimmages, and then came back in the spring and, kind of got back to work. And then after spring break, basically started our real season, which for us is very weird.
Yeah.
Have a newfound respect for all those spring sports with all the many things that they deal with in that time frame. We didn't even get done until June.
Yeah.
So it was a very long year. Everybody always tells you, oh, you should have been great. You have all that time to train. It's like, well, on one hand, yes, but
other hand, they kind of get tired of training.
Yeah. On the other hand, they get you get a little tired, and it turns into a long year. But we had a successful year. I mean, we lost in the semifinals, quarterfinals to Pearl River in the shootout.
Yeah.
So first shootout in ICC soccer history.
It was, and unfortunately, I wasn't here to see it, but I was keeping up as I was on the road with the volleyball down in Florida. So, you got a lot of guys coming back from that squad last year, key guys coming in, and it's unique because not only you, but there's going to be other programs that have 3-year guys coming back. Talk about that unique aspect of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have 4 guys: David Marquez, Cameron West, Corbin Martin, and Carson O'Daniel. All be kind of 3rd-year guys. Recruiting was tough last year because at all levels everything got screwed up. So these are guys that will look to move on after this year, but due to a lot of people doing the same thing they were doing, there was a lot less roster spots open. So it kind of worked out to everybody's benefit, for them to stay another year and hopefully impart their knowledge and wisdom and you would hope maturity level and kind of hope us be a little bit stronger and better for it.
Sully, I think that's a unique part of it that a lot of people hadn't thought about is having that maturity level. Guys that's been through the system now, what will be their 3rd year. Help bring along those freshmen because you got a good core freshmen coming through. Having that extra value really kind of serves as extra coaches in that sense to be like, look, guys, get your butt to class, do this, do that, all the stuff away from the game that helps them be successful in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hopefully that'll be a strength of our team this year and, getting back into a little bit of normalcy with the routine of when we, do preseason, that kind of thing, because some of the sophomores that are actually sophomores now, athletically, they've never been through a preseason until this year because last year, preseason was just coming when the students come in and we'll have one practice in the afternoon. But we had 2 weeks of preseason and it was kind of warm out there. But we had a good preseason and, we're disappointed about the game being canceled on Thursday. But we'll be going to Southwest on Saturday and, looking forward to seeing what we're going to be like this year.
And speaking of additional coaches, you do have a new addition to the coaching staff. Let you introduce him to everybody that's listening right now on the show. And if I want to ask him some questions, you want to ask him some questions, we'll just throw him to the fire here and let him get him fired up about it. But talk about your new assistant coach.
Yeah, no, I mean, we were really excited and thankful to our administration for, hiring us an assistant coach for both programs. Something much needed. I mean, it's a tall task to run a collegiate program, all by yourself with the extra duties that you have as well. So, we were excited to bring in Blake Lashley, played for me a couple of years ago, not too many, but was an all-state and all-region guy, went on to CBU and played there and finished up his degree, and he's been coaching at high school the last 2 years, so we were kind of glad to be able to snatch him away and get him to help the old man out here a little bit.
Go. Now, a lot of people know him as Bones back in his playing day here at ICC, and Coach, just talk about how it feels to be back here at ICC with Coach Sullivan, a guy you got a chance to play for, now helping bring up the next generation of ICC Indians.
It feels great to be back. I loved it when I played here. It's a whole different aspect when you're coaching. You're on the other side of the line. You get to handle all the fun stuff in the office. Like, I don't think there's a day where my head stops spinning yet from learning so much because Coach Sullivan's here is like, go do this. And I'm like, I hope I remember how to do that.
Absolutely. Now, talk about your coaching career up to this point. Where have you been? And you had some success along the way as well.
Yeah, a little bit of success. I've been blessed with some good teams. So in 2018, when I finished up at Christian Brothers, I did my end-of-the-year meeting with the head coach, or the former head coach there, Clint Brown. Mm-hmm. And he's like, have you ever thought about coaching? And I was like, no, I've never thought about it. So I started with Lobos in 2018. And then in 2019, I went back to my alma mater high school with Center Hill. And they let me be the ALC teacher there, which is not a fun task. And I was the assistant coach there. And we ended up winning the 5A state title there. And then after that year, I moved over to Lewisburg, where my little brothers go to school. And we had a good year. Just like anything and everybody else. COVID kind of messed things up with how it went. And, you couldn't train during the summer like you would. And then, we were training all summer this year up until I applied here and got this job. I'm definitely excited and blessed to have this opportunity and looking forward to it.
Well, so let's talk about expectations. I know your expectations are always high. with this year maybe a little bit higher with some of the guys you got coming back. But talk about expectations on the season.
Yeah, I mean, our expectation is always to compete for a title. You know, it really doesn't matter what we got or what we think we're going to do, but that's kind of our expectation. We've got some really good guys coming back in. You know, we brought some good freshmen in, so you know we're excited. We're still feeling ourselves out, trying to figure out who we're going to be and what we're going to be. We lost quite a few defensive guys, so we're looking to see what and who is going to fill that void. And once we get that figured out and kind of get our offensive stuff kind of, I think, ironed out, which games are going to help that. You can only do so much in training after a while. But, expectation is to win the North. We know we'll have some battles with some of the North guys. It a lot of times comes down to us and Hines, so I'm sure, that'll be somebody we definitely have to keep our eyes on. And, most of the other ones, definitely not to slight them. We always have some trouble with somebody along the way for sure. But the North is always tough, and then the South is, a three-headed monster down there. It's always Jones, Pearl River, and Gulf Coast. And every year we seem to play one of them, and it's always a 2-1 overtime, penalty kick, something kind of game. And, hopefully this year we can kind of break through and win the North and take care of those guys down south.
Yeah, this is your second year in Division II. Second year that the NJCA has recognized the Division II in soccer. So talk about just that playoff sense, I guess you can say, and the changes and how it kind of presents you guys more, but kind of a little bit more fair opportunities as well compared to what you were playing in 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Being in Division II is, really it's where we should have been all along. The money that we have to give out has always been Division II money, so to speak. So now we're competing on a little bit more of a level playing field. We'll still play somebody that might have 12 international players, but they still only have 18 tuition scholarships. So, no matter who they have, we're still looking at the same amount of money to give out. And, as far as competition goes, our women from Mississippi lost the national championship game, and our men, Representative Jones, finished in a three-way tie in their bracket and lost on goal differential to move to the semifinals. And that's a team that we lost 3-2 in the beginning of the year to. So, it kind of shows you where, the possibilities of us, eventually getting to are going to be. I think we have good opportunities to make deep runs in the national tournament from any of the Mississippi schools that can get to that point. So we're excited and glad to be there.
Bones, what about you? What's your expectations for yourself and then you in that assistant coaching role?
Be able to help this guy out, give him be able to bounce ideas. I'd just be another voice, I guess. I definitely want to be as involved and be as big as a help as I can for the team. It's the same as him. Let's go win the North, and then let's compete for that state title and try to get into that national title or national tournament.
Well, Sully, any final thoughts before I cut you guys loose? I know you kind of scrambling right now, trying to figure out, hey, can we play? Mother Nature just not playing along with us so far.
Right now things are just, it's a typical kind of thing. It's always fun. We're dealing weather. We're dealing, we're battling COVID. So hopefully these numbers will start going in a more positive direction for everybody, not just athletics. But, we're excited and hopeful that the season's going to go off without a glitch, and maybe the weather will cooperate for us. We'll take the heat. We just don't want the rain and the monsoon weather, because I think the boys are kind of used to the heat at this point. Now we're looking forward to our first match against Southwest, and then we'll get the state champs in here on Friday next Friday.
Next Friday. So we'll be on the 27th.
Yeah, well, actually, we'll go to them.
Okay, that's right.
And they got a nice facility to play at, so the boys will kind of like that. It'll be a night game. Won't be 1,000 degrees.
Yeah, I really like that.
So we're looking forward to it. We got a good non-conference schedule to lead up into our first division game, which happens to be Hines on the road. So
might as well go ahead and get that one out of the way.
Yeah, we got to get ourselves ready over the next 4 or 5 games, and hopefully we'll go down to Hines and get a good result.
Well, you can follow ICC's men's soccer program by visiting letsgoicc.com. You see that schedule, full roster, news, photos, more there. You can also watch home matches this year on letsgoicctv.com. Again, that'll be available on Twitter. Follow us on Let's Go ICC on Twitter. So Let's Go ICC, that's the key word there. Guys, appreciate your time today and look forward to another exciting, successful season with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back for more of the ICC Hour right after this.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renaissance Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
My name is Emily Loden-Jones, and I am the instructor and the program director for the Forestry Technology program at Etowah Community College, and I have taught here for 15 years. Our students learn how to identify native hardwood species and softwood species in this area. They learn how to cruise timber and evaluate it for selling purposes. They also learn a lot about forest management regimes that we use to get specific objectives from our land. Our program will accept students either in the fall, the beginning of the fall semester in August, or in January, the start of the spring semester. This program is a 2-year program in which you will obtain an Associate's of Applied Sciences in Forestry Technology. It's also a transferable program to Mississippi State University in the College of Forest Resources. Most of our courses are taught in a traditional format because it is so outdoor based. We have 1 fully online class and 1 hybrid class. Freshmen attend 2 days a week for forestry courses, and sophomores attend 2 days a week for forestry courses. Our students usually obtain employment in either the state sectors or either in private sectors. A minimum starting salary would be, if you went to work for a state agency, of about $30,000 a year. And I would say most students would probably start around $36,000 to $40,000 a year. The best type of student for this program is one that does not mind being outdoors. It is hot, it is cold sometimes. They also need to understand that this is not just an outdoor program, but is a math, science heavy curriculum. Our one requirement is that you have a good pair of boots and some bug spray.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Are you interested in furthering your career in the food service industry? Well, ICC has the perfect opportunity for you. Our 4-week class will provide you with the tools you need to enhance your career and quickly advance to the next level. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 662-407-1505. And welcome back to the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM. And as we've mentioned before, we'll mention it again, and we'll always mention it. The ICC Hour is being presented to you by our friends at Renaissance Bank. Renaissance Bank, the bank that understands you. Visit renaissancebank.com to learn how they can help you with all your banking needs. Now, as I said in the top of the show, we're going to be joined by Dr. Jay Allen, and he's with us today. And new school year, new fall semester, so an exciting time here. Before we talk about the fall semester, let's look back at last year. A lot of great things came through ICC, as expected, but, we had some setbacks at times due to COVID, but our faculty, our staff, our students, everyone involved kind of just muscled their way through and made the best of the opportunity.
You're right, Adam. First of all, thanks for having me again on the show, and I really appreciate the opportunity to share with our listening audience out there. You're right. Last year, boy, really from March of 2020 on has been unprecedented times with countless decisions on information that changed daily and sometimes hourly.
Yes.
It's been tough, but when I look back, we had an immensely successful year. Kind of capping it all off with in-person graduation. Now, granted, we didn't do 2 ceremonies. We did 4 plus the GED ceremony. Right. And, man, it worked well. We were able to space people out and really allowed people to bring about their normal crowd. I think we did 10 tickets per graduate. So it was about normal. We're really proud of that. Then I think we look back, I think about some other things. We were able to have all of our sports play. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they weren't all in their regular season due to NJCAA moving those around. But fall football played in the fall at our request to NJCAA, and we appreciate them allowing us to do that. Sure, we had hiccups with every sport, as you saw, even at both the Division I, SEC levels. You saw it in the pros, but we dealt with that. We adapted, we overcame, and we found ways to make it work. And I'm so proud of the college as a whole being able to pull together and make those things happen. In the spite of all of that, we still were not only just able to graduate. Graduate students have graduation. We even had a slight increase in enrollment last fall, so that was great. But also, when we talk about athletics, we had 98 student athletes last year earning MACCC academic honors, and 69 athletes earning NAJCA academic honors. So when you think about it, not only were we able to keep those athletes successful on the field, but also in the classroom, and that's important. And of course, I think that's indicative to our students as a whole. To be able to keep clinicals going, it's just so important for our nursing and allied health, our health science programs. So important to keep them not only in that classroom but also in the clinical setting. So really pleased with what we saw last year.
Yeah, and I think it's a testimony again back to the call of the college is to support, to educate, to give these kids the best opportunities, and that's teachers going the extra mile as well.
Absolutely.
And it's not because of a paycheck, because they want to see the success of these kids go forward. So you credit them, but you also got to credit the moxie of the kids.
That's correct.
Because they could have easily just said, it's going to be tough, I don't got to do it.
Well, and I say that all the time, it's when we think about the success, it's not just because of any one particular thing. It's truly a team effort. Our faculty are having to provide both challenges and support to meet those challenges in the classroom for these students. Our staff are having to provide those wraparound services that it takes to make that holistic student, and make them successful. And then our students have to be willing to work that hard. And not only do they answer the call, they answer it extremely well. And if we have time at the end, we'll even talk about how well that works when they transfer on to the next level.
Absolutely, we sure will. So talk about some of the other things that kind of stood out to you this past year. I know we just had convocation last week for our faculty and staff, welcoming everyone back. So we had a chance to reflect on that. And I really hope that they were able to listen to that and kind of take pride in everything we were able to accomplish.
Having almost every activity in some form or fashion that we would normally have, and we still had Indians have talent and those type things, it took effort to make it work in a COVID world, but we made it work. We started off in the fall actually having classes that met in most cases, half the class was there on Monday and half the class was there on Wednesday, and you zoomed in the other days and still got to hear your lecture at the right time of the day, just virtual one day and face-to-face the next. But that allowed us to separate people in the classroom to have still the space we needed to keep everybody safe. Different, yes. Better than a lot of other options, absolutely. And in the spring, we transitioned as we learned more and gained more capability to where we got more classes back to a normal setting. Might not have been full capacity in the room, but we're able to make it work. So we felt much more normal by spring. We moved Thanksgiving. We moved final exams to before Thanksgiving.
Right.
And the beauty of that decision was that after Thanksgiving, the only people that came back to campus besides our faculty and staff were a few students that needed to finish up clinicals in the nursing and health science programs, a couple of career technical students that obviously had to come back to finish, again, some lab work, maybe some testing and the like. But it was very small numbers. And while we saw an increase in COVID cases from our faculty and staff after Thanksgiving, we didn't have all of those students there. So you're talking about 4,500, well, probably 4,800 less people on campus. Yeah. And so that really helped us from having spread. The other positive was, if you think about the whole year, we kept our positivity rate, our positive testing rate, somewhere in the 1% range. That is, or less. Yeah. That is impressive with all that we had going on. I think it was our efforts to quarantine, to do contact tracing, really, I'm going to call it aggressive contact tracing, so that we quarantined the right people, isolated those that needed to be isolated when they were positive, moving those people off campus when possible, and in cases where they were out of state or out of country, or had maybe everyone in their home was elderly and they just didn't feel safe going home. So we were able to make that work in the residence hall, which meant we had to feed them 3 meals a day, delivered to their room. And Dr. Boggs and his team made that happen. I mean, he kind of looked like DoorDash for a while. And but the beauty of that is that it took the whole team. We've never faced a challenge like this, and yet we pulled it off, with very few people getting positive in the grand scheme of things.
And again, it's just a testimony of and I hate to say what we do here at ICC, but that's what we do,
Correct.
Go that extra mile.
Absolutely.
And want to do what we can to help you be successful.
Right.
Even that means bring you food, set that up that way.
Right.
And we're always learning.
Absolutely.
We learn how to do something better than we did yesterday.
Absolutely.
And I know that's your challenge
Absolutely.
as a president.
I say it every day. We should be getting a little bit better every day, and it's those minor improvements that lead to some really major, leaps and gains. And the reality is, we didn't really know if what we were doing was going to turn out to be the best thing ever or not, or the right thing. But we took all of the information we had, and we plotted a course and stuck with it and made adjustments as necessary, and it worked. But I will say, one of the highlights after completing all of the fall and spring, all of our sports getting to play, our band performing, all of our performing groups being able to find a way to perform and excel, was this summer to watch our own Hootie, Houston Harding, being able to pitch in the Collegiate World Series. Not only did he pitch, he made a significant impact and guaranteed a Game 3.
Yep.
And win a national title for Mississippi State University. Unbelievable scenario, and to have one of our alumni be a part of that. But not just our alumni. We had 2, 3, 4 community college alumni in that game making significant impacts for Mississippi State. I think that's a testament to, again, the impact we continue to make as a college.
Yeah, and the state as a whole as well. You always hear about the negatives of Mississippi, the education. But when you look at our junior college system as a whole, and it's been recognized year after year after year nationally, we've got a pretty good junior college system here. And hey, I'm going to brag on a second. ICC is leading the way in a lot of those categories.
Absolutely. And, I still say that in many of our sports, we are some might would consider us to be the SEC of the community college world. And if you can survive being beat up each week in and out by Mississippi community college teams, you can usually excel well beyond that. There is a difference, though. Remember, in Mississippi, as you well know, Adam, being sports information director, we have a limited number of out-of-state players for each of our sports. Mm-hmm. And our competitors, once we begin to compete outside of Mississippi, doesn't have that requirement. They don't have that restriction. So it is a little bit different playing field for us. But that's great because it keeps it about Mississippi and Mississippi athletes, and it's really neat to have that. I think the other piece of that is we still have these athletes that are going out and excelling at the next level.
Well, Dr. Allen, you got a few more minutes. Stick around with me. We're up against a break right now. We'll continue looking ahead at all the good stuff from last year. And then we'll also take a look at the upcoming fall semester and the excitement that surrounds it as well. As we'll take a break and be back with more of the ICC Hour right after this here on Super Talk Mississippi. Thinking about going back to college? Good news, it's not too late to sign up for face-to-face or online classes at Itawamba Community College. Face-to-face classes start on August the 16th, and online classes begin August the 23rd. ICC offers a 4-day schedule so students can enjoy a 3-day weekend. Find out more by calling 862-8000 or by visiting iccms.edu. Scholarships and financial aid are still available, so sign up today. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking, go to renaissancebank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Hey Indian fans, I'm Ricky Murphy, real estate agent, Tommy Morgan Realtors, and I'm also a proud alumni of the All-American Marching Band. Itawamba Community College was my home for 2 years, and where you decide to make your home will be one of the most important decisions of your life. Whether you're looking to create a plan to buy your first home, or if you're ready today to make a move into your forever home, give me a call or send me a message so we can discuss your next move. And for my family, Roll Tribe!
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
Today tastes like game day at home, like assigned couch seating. Tastes like coffee table dining and an ice-cold Coke to cool down the heat. It tastes like the game you've waited for all week with friends you've known your whole life. Today tastes like watching football is supposed to, and it never tasted this good. Coca-Cola. Together tastes better.
Ooh, rumble. Let's give her a Renaissance replay. Make the right call with Renaissance and get cell phone protection with Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking. Sign up today.
And welcome back to the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi, 101.9 FM. You can join us every Tuesday at 106 here to learn more and more about ICC, as today's guest is ICC President Dr. Jay Allen. We look back at last year. Well, let's take a look at this fall semester. A lot of excitement. It started Monday, had that fun buzz on campus, a cautionary buzz on campus.
That's true.
I should say. But it's good to feel that buzz back, seeing friendly faces, freshmen that are now sophomores, new faces to campus. It's just, I don't know, it's one of my favorite time of years.
It is, and at the end of, off and on last week, I got to do our Powerade visits, as I call them, where we take Powerade to our student athletes, and we'll be doing the same thing with band, with cheerleaders, and we do that where these groups, they're out there in the heat practicing and honing their talents for the college. And so we visit with them, and Dr. Boggs and Coach Ball and I do this typically, and it's a chance for us to share with those athletes how proud we are that they're here at ICC, but also our expectations. And so that was neat. I always know fall's coming when I get a chance to do that. And then to have the start of the semester yesterday, having everybody back, I love that, to have our campus full of people, full of students. It is cautionary. We have to be careful. We've broken some records in the last week or so with COVID cases, which is very, very scary. The Delta variant is a beast. It doesn't, as I like to say it doesn't really care if you're young or old, vaccinated or not. That's one of the reasons we put in our mask mandate back. We hope that's a temporary move. And we outlined that as we created our 4 levels of operation due to COVID. But the reality is that we feel like that's a safe move. We know it's a layer of protection, and it worked for us, we believe, this last school year. And so we went back to what we know, and that was to put that mask mandate back in for all. If the vaccine and the Delta variant, if you weren't capable of getting the Delta variant, even though you were vaccinated, then a mask mandate might be a little different scenario. But it just doesn't really care if you're vaccinated or not. Now, we hope it will lessen the severity, and it appears it will lessen the severity of your COVID experience if you're positive with the vaccine. But our students responded so well last year, and what I've seen to date, they're responding extremely well this year. They're wearing that mask. We have to remind ourselves and get back in that habit. Like, I got to get my mask back on. I'm walking in a building. But in our 4 levels of operation during COVID, we have the capability to adjust as we need to, and we're at level 2 right now. But we could always drop down or go up to a level 3 if we need to, or pull some items from 3 or 1 back into our mix and make it work. But we had to develop a stronger plan even than we had last year, so that we could continue to add as much normalcy to the classroom setting and as much normalcy to our student activity setting, and then our sports and then performing groups. And so we think this is a way to do that for us.
Why is it for you, or for ICC as that matter, why is it important to have that sense of normalcy, or I guess that traditional, as traditional as possible college experience?
Adam, I think we all want normalcy again. Yeah. And unfortunately we might have forgot what normal was like. It's been so long. But I think what's so important for our students, and really for that matter our faculty and staff, but the Itawamba Community College environment, the campus environment, the culture is really special. And a part of that are all the experiences students can gain, faculty and staff can gain by bringing their family to be a part of many of these experiences that are after hours and ball games and performance groups and the like. And you can come easily be a part of that, and it just adds to that rich environment. Well, we missed some of that last year. We really did, and it was disappointing to me. And so my goal was that we're going to get us as close to normal. We're going to have as many of those activities as we can. They may be altered. They may look a little different, like some did last year, but we also know more, and we've learned a lot, and we're going to find a way to make it work. We did a nurse's pinning last year at Christmas that was in the event center, and I think in that small PN group, there was like 16 students that would be marching with us. They were spread out all over the event center floor, and we had the family spread out. And it basically looked like a little bit like it was one person in each little section of this 3,500 seat facility. But at the end of the day, we were able to do it, and we were able to keep people safe. And that's what we want to do. So we're finding ways to make it even more normal.
And I think, we talked about in the last segment about being able to have graduations and those moments last year. Those are special moments. I know a lot of people are like, it's just graduation. But for some families, that's the first generation person graduating college. So they want to celebrate this and have positive memories of that moment. And that's why those type things are important, to me at least.
Absolutely. It's a milestone moment. It's a culmination of all this work you've done. You're right. It is, for many, they're the first generation to ever graduate college. And we want to provide them that opportunity to be honored and celebrated. I also think, as I hold a few degrees myself, and my rule of thumb is you march every time you graduate, because my theory was always that it reminded me of all the hard work. It was that kind of that point in time that you marked to remember that forever. But also, hopefully, Mom and Dad buy you a really good meal. So that worked out really well. Now, when I got my PhD, I ended up buying the meal that night. I'm not real sure how that worked out, but yeah.
Eventually, they're like, okay, it's your turn.
That's right. But I will say that at the end, being able to do that, it also for faculty, staff, it really helps us to know the work we've done all year long has paid off. To see these faces walking across that stage, so thrilled, and to look out in that audience and see those parents that are so thrilled. And even though it was harder on us to do 4 ceremonies instead of 2, it was worth it because we allowed basically our normal crowd to be there, just split up over 4 ceremonies instead of 2. So again, it's part of the sacrifice that we have to make to find that normalcy.
So for this fall semester, a little different for you. Let's talk about that before I talk about your ultimate goals. You, Emma Grace, starting college. Had a chance to see her. We tried to embarrass her at lunch today, but she shook it off. But as a dad, how does that? How do you feel? One, seeing her start college, but also as a student in this environment today.
So, Emma Grace is a freshman living on campus, and so excited about her opportunity, and she is, as well as I am, and Belinda, just so excited about her having that opportunity to live on campus, experience the collegiate world and life. But she said, please tell me we're going to have normal, and I said, well, we are. It might feel a little different, look a little different at times, but we're going to fight hard to make it normal. Well, if my child's having that level of concern, others are. I told parents at orientation, I understand what you're going through. You're sending your child off to college. I get it. And for those of you that have that child living on campus here with us, I'm going to do the same thing. I've got one living on campus. The difference is I will be living on the same campus that my child is living on, and to your child's excitement, you will not be living on that campus. But I think the reality is it's really a pivotal time in every student's life when they're going to college, and their future really sits right here. And I always believe that the path to prosperity passes through the schoolhouse doors. It passes through these collegiate doors. It doesn't mean everybody has to have a bachelor's degree or higher. But we offer credentials that will change their life. And I'm excited that my daughter's a part of that now.
All right, so as the president, as cabinet, what are the goals for the college this year?
Well, we have a couple of construction projects that are going on, so we want to make sure we get those continuing to move along. And, even through COVID, we've been able to make that happen. We have our new residence hall that's really moving along quickly. In fact, I noticed they are getting that roof ready to actually put that standing seam metal on, and so we're excited about that. They are bricking probably the whole back half. I believe probably by the end of this week, the back half of the building should be bricked, and so they'll start moving around to the front here pretty soon. So it's really amazing to see that, and when people start passing by on the road, they're going to be amazed to see that taking place and how great it looks. Then we've done some roof replacements, and that's just a necessary evil. It's not the funnest renovation to do because nobody really sees it, but it's important to keep the building dry, and so we're doing those, wrapping those up. We've been able to replace Wi-Fi. Not replace, let me rephrase that. We've been able to place Wi-Fi all over our outside area because with COVID we've realized it's more important than ever to be outside. Because it's safer from a COVID exposure standpoint. So we also know back when people needed to find a place to get work done and they couldn't come in a building, they could drive up in our parking lot, and we had a few spots that we could make kind of hot spots. Well, now our entire campus is a hot spot. So that's really important, and we're glad to be able to do that. Outside of the construction and outside of really I think our number one goal is to make it happen. We want to make this year happen, and we want to make it successful, exciting, and really a life-changing experience for all of our students, no matter their age, no matter their background, and where they're coming from. We want to make this a life-changing experience. And I really believe our faculty and staff are committed to that. And the work that I've seen today, they are just eager to get in here, roll up their sleeves, and make it happen. Obviously, with taking precautions, but willing to do the things that they need to do. Our classroom experiences last year were so great that we had little to no transmission in the classroom that we could ever trace back to the classroom setting. So we were really proud of that. So I feel like we've provided that safe environment. I think the other goals is that obviously always we want to make sure that we provide a fiscally sustainable institution, because that's so much more important than just meeting the budget.
Right.
It's people's livelihoods. And I still believe that there are a lot of Mississippians out there in Northeast Mississippi that need the services that ICC has to offer. And so we want to make sure they take advantage of that. And so it's not just about meeting our budget, but it's about really meeting people's needs, whether that be credit, non-credit, workforce training. It doesn't really matter. We've got something to offer them.
And then, of course, before I let you go, I know you're a humble guy, but you do have a little bit of bragging. Recently named to the AACC Board of Directors. If you would kind of tell everybody what you were named to there, what that is, and just a little bit of explanation on that.
Sure, Adam. We there's the American Association of Community Colleges, and I was elected to their Board of Directors. And so it's a 32-member board. We meet 3 times a year. And as a board, there's an executive committee that will meet 5 times a year, 2 other times besides the 3 that we meet. And it's made up of college presidents across the U.S., and we're broken down into committees, and then we also serve on some councils and some commissions. We serve on some commissions. And then the reality is we basically approve budgets. We approve, the financials for that organization. They have an office in Washington, D.C., and they do a tremendous amount of lobbying for the community colleges nationwide. I mean, they represent all of us. It's 1,100 plus organizations, and they represent our needs for our students, our best interest. And so while I just got back from some training and a board training and a board meeting in D.C., and what was great was that while we were there, we heard from the Secretary of Education and from the Secretary of Labor, and you can imagine both of those impact what we do, from workforce training and just general educational interest. But then also so many of the things that are going on right now with relief acts and all impact us in both of those areas. And then also Dr. Jill Biden, the First Lady, spoke to us. She was not able to get there in person, but she spoke to us via Zoom and shared some great comments with us, and wants to get back with us in person later on. So it's a great honor to be on that board. I think for me, I hope that I can provide some insight from not only Mississippi, but the southern region of the U.S. I serve on some other boards and other organizations that are made up of Southeastern presidents, so I hope through that insight I can bring then that insight back to AACC.
Awesome. Well, before I let you go, is there anything else we need to touch on? I know we talked about a lot, but always something good to talk about here at ICC.
Well, let me close this out with something extremely positive. Just got this data right at the end of last week, and it's exciting. It came from the Institutions of Higher Learning, and it's a set of data we've talked about before, but this was the report on the outcome of community college graduates when they transfer to a university and their production of bachelor's degrees. So you think about it, ICC, students transferring to a university, the 8 public universities, producing bachelor's degrees. We produce more bachelor's degrees than any other community college in this state except for Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
And they're double our size, and we were 16 behind them.
Wow.
And our graduates did that while earning a GPA higher than the students who started at the university.
That's awesome.
So, it's amazing. And again, it's a testament to the work our faculty are doing in the classroom, our staff are doing with the wraparound services, and then our students willing to answer that call and to perform at that level. I shared that with some of our athletes last week when I was doing those Power Wave visits, and I said, hey, in case you wondered if you've made the right decision, well, I can tell you, you've not only made the right decision academically, scholastically, you made the right decision as well in athletically. And I think that's the key for all of our students. We're proven, because this is not our first time to do this. We've been doing this year after year. We're proven to be able to take you where you are and to get you where you want to go. We'll do our part if you'll do your part. And the fact that we're preparing people not only for the coursework we're doing right here, but we're preparing them for the next level. That's proof in that. And so I'm very proud of what we've done.
Yeah, proof of what we like to say, the best start here.
Absolutely.
Is 100% true. Well, Dr. Allen, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I know it's been a busy day for you, but we're looking forward to a great fall semester, and we hope you can be a part of that as well. Even though those classes have started, it's not too late to sign up. Visit iccms.edu to find out how you can join the ICC family.
Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking, go to renaissancebank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.